What's up guys, how are you doing? So in this video I am going to teach you how to make the most of your life. So the first thing that I would do, be unsailable. This is a quote that I found in Rain. So be unsailable, just no one should control your life. You have to do things that you want to do. You have to find your own passions, what inspires you, and only think about what matters to you, and don't let anyone's opinions affect your mind. So for example, I am very inspired by the movie world. I like historical and fantastical movies, and they always cheer me up and they inspire me so much. For example, I like The Curse of the Ring. That movie is so amazing. It's so fantastical, and I love when there's this blonde woman from the north who passes by this great knight, and it's like so epic. I've always been fascinated with epic soundtracks, epic movies, and then it made me, have this epic mindset in my mind. But okay, life is not like the movies, but you do have so much inspiration if you're watching someone or something that will lift your mood up. And I think that is the greatest way to live, if you're inspired by someone else, someone that makes you happy, and then it creates a better version of yourself and you can inspire someone else. So inspiration is the greatest way to live a great life, because you can have so many ideas on having a great life, and the most ideas you have, the more your life is gonna accumulate with positive things. So the list of movies that I like are The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, Kingdom of Heaven, Troy, all those epic movies with sword fighting and everything. So that is my passion, pardon me, and that is why I wake up happy, enthusiastic to do something similar to, I love acting, so I want to act, I want to keep doing it, I want to keep doing something similar. And when you watch the movies, you're like, can this happen to me as well? So inspiration is definitely a great way to live your life. I find that the moments that are unplanned can be the greatest moments of your life. Doing things out of the blue, and I think that happens when you're a child. When I was a child, I used to run around in the park, in the nature, with a lot of my neighbors and a lot of my friends. And that is when I was truly happy. When you just have fun together, work as a team together. We used to build wooden houses together, and then our parents would call us for dinner and we would be like, oh man, we just want to stay in the moment. We want to keep working together as a team. And it was the best moments. And then later on, before teenage life, I played football with a lot of guys, and just sweating, just being in the moment and having fun and creating a lot of endorphin. That is when you are happy and making the most of your life. And I tend to find that technology really appeared when I was, let's say, 13, 14 years old, and that's when things got a bit messy. I was more focused on Facebook and I wasn't living in the nature. So go outdoors, do things, explore. That is when you're happy, when you're going outside, and that are the greatest moments of your life. I tend to find that when I was outside, when I was exploring, such as when I went to Hampton Court, when I went to the Cornwall beach, or when I went to St. Lucia traveling, that is when I was the happiest, not trapped indoors. I tend to find that when you are inspired by others, yes, it does help yourself, but if you inspire yourself others, if you're willing to help others, that is how you're going to make the most of your life. So, for example, I love teaching French to other people, because when I help people, and I know it sounds cliche, but when I help people in French, I've never felt more satisfied, because I'm giving something that I have to offer that will bring them joy. And it's so satisfactory to transmit something that you know that they don't. So French can be a tough language, but I've been privileged to have a French father and a mother from Zimbabwe who speaks English. So having the two languages, I can transmit a message, I can help out. So helping out has really been a great asset, and I hope doing those videos can also help you out and also inspire you to make you have a better lifestyle. So there you go. So helping others is really good. I find that when you focus too much on other people, you're not going to have a good life. So really focus on yourself. As I said, really focus on yourself. If you hear a bad opinion about yourself, okay, just acknowledge it, but then, move on with your life. So just move on and do what you have to do. You have to focus within your own self. The opinions about other people are about them. It is not about you. Okay? Do not judge. I think if you want to make the most of your life, do not judge too much, because we're all so different as individuals, and we all have a specific amount of time that not judging is really great, and learning from someone else is also good. So I think the more you learn about life is really, you can't have, life is not worth having if you're not learning. And I've listened to that quote in The Tudors. I think Henry VIII said it to his daughter Elizabeth in the TV series The Tudors: without knowledge, life is not worth having. And I totally agree, because the less you know, okay, you're going to be blissful the less you know, but when you learn something, you're like, oh, this could have helped me out in my own life, and I'll be a happier person. So yeah, have some knowledge. And then be surrounded by people. I mean, it's okay to have a balance between alone time, but also be surrounded by people. Exchange ideas, work as a team. I think that working together creates a great piece of work. For example, if you're working on an artistic video, you got the lighting crew, the cinematographer, the producer, the director, the actor, the makeup artist, so on and so forth. And as a team, you create something amazing. Alone, sure, you could create something amazing if you're really talented or if you have it all. But I think working as a team is what makes the most beautiful work. I mean, look at the greatest movies. There's so many people in the crew that you have to acknowledge and appreciate. And that is what creates a lot of wonderful work. So really, and give compliments to people, like, you've done great work with the makeup, you've done great work with the sound, because without them, the puzzle would not be complete. So there you go. Also, I think to make the most out of your life is really working hard and stay busy. I think if you work really hard, if you give it all, if you give your sweat and everything, that is when you're going to be happy, and at the end of the day, you're going to be satisfied with yourself. And I also find that when you're really doing something you thought you could never do, something that sounds incredibly difficult, but at the end you end up doing it, that is when you're going to feel more satisfied with yourself. So really do things that terrify you, because if you don't, I mean, if you do simple things, sure, it's going to be great, but you're going to feel the most satisfaction if you do something that is really difficult, and then you're going to be more proud of yourself. I'm very conscious that there are 366 days in a year, and there are so many years ahead of us, but I am so conscious of time that there's no time to waste. You have to do the impossible as much as you can, even if it sounds unrealistic. Just do it. Just do what you can, and the outcome may be so great. So there you go. I think to make the most out of your life as well is to surround yourself with grandparents, elderlies. They can teach you so much about life. My mum's boyfriend's father, he's called Henri. not my boyfriend, but Henri with an I. My boyfriend's with a Y. Henri is a really great granddad to my half-sister, baby Jade, and he always laughs and enjoys life. And there was a time when I was so anxious about something, about the amount of time that we have as a human beings, and I don't think we really talk about it. And he was like, on est de passage. We're basically just passing through as human beings. And when he told me that, I was really trying to understand. I was like, I'm scared of time. I mean, what if we don't have enough time left? And he told me, we're just passing by, and then we're a cycle. You're going to do the next job to give information to the next generation. He told me those really mature things, and he knows because he's lived longer than me. And I like talking to elderlies because they know what they're talking about. They've lived. They know that it's going to be all right. Especially my grandmother. I'm like, Grandma, there's not enough time. And she's like, are you kidding? Like, my grandma is 89 years old and I'm already worried about time. She's like, you have your whole life ahead, Wendy, don't worry. And then she told me things like, really be careful of how much you eat and things like that, like, and also to appreciate life, to be happy, and just appreciate the simple things. So elderlies are really great. And also children. I find that children are really great to be around with because they teach you not to take things too seriously. That's another fact. If you want to really make the most out of your life, don't take things too seriously. Have fun, giggle, like, otherwise you're gonna lose yourself. And my sister, baby Jade, she is always happy. Like, it's so great to see someone who's always happy, so full of energy. I mean, my friends Thomas and Alexander, they were trying to catch up to her, but she would always run in circles, and we were like, okay, we're in our 20s, we're out of energy. And it's true, we were out of energy. And Jade, she's going to be 6 this year, and 6 years old. She was so full of energy, and it's good to see that you have to have fun, you have to have that positive energy, despite the fact that you're an adult. I also find that you should do something in an area that you didn't think you were good at. I mean, I'm very much into the arts and languages, but Henry has been teaching me a lot about computer science because it is his forte, his domain. So learn something you didn't think you were good at. I mean, it's really the arts and everything, but okay, computer science can be an art, but I want to do something that I didn't really understand, like editing videos. He taught me everything, and I managed to learn it. And yeah, learn something you don't know, learn another language, and that's how you can make the most out of your life. I also think just sitting down, calming, and just watching the view, having a moment for yourself when you're just breathing and, relaxing, can also be good to make the most out of your life, because we're so much in a rush when we're adults, and we're always stressed that we're not doing enough. But you need time when you can just read a book, just observe the nature and relax, and that is when you can truly be happy. Okay. And also fight forever. I think if you want to make the most out of your life, fight forever. If you keep on fighting for what you really want, you can make the most out of your life. I also find that sometimes we're putting priorities on the wrong things, and we can really lose ourselves. I think, I talked about in my previous videos, agenda, scheduling. If you really want to make the most out of your life, schedule so that you don't waste time. Also, avoid watching videos all the time online, because it's not about the online world, it's about the offline world. But of course, what I've realized is all you're going to have left are your photos and videos. That's why the online world can be so tempting to look at. But memories can also come from the offline world, so really make most of your time in the offline world and schedule for your offline world so you can make most of your time for every single minute. If you want to make the most out of your life, to also really take care of yourself, I think that that is really important if you want to exercise, put the right creams, makeup, so that you look, if you're hygienic, you're going to make the most out of your life because you're going to have a healthy state. Whereas if you're not taking care of yourself and not having that healthy state, you could lose yourself and not end up living the life that you want to live. I think university has been a great experience for me, and I'm glad I took that path to go to university, because without knowledge, life is meaningless like before. But university has taught me how to structure myself, how to not take anything for granted, and a lot of life lessons. I think that if I didn't go to university, I wouldn't have had those lessons. Maybe if I did courses online, but yeah, university has really structured me and made me a better person, not just for knowledge, but also to make myself a better person, to structure and to realize that time is valuable. And I also met my best friend Thomas, so I'm glad I took that route. Yeah, you must be wondering, why did I go to university before? Why didn't I study acting before? Well, ideally, my dad really wanted me to have a backup. And education has always been really important to me since I was little, and I've always done well at school. So education is really beneficial for me, and I think academically it really suits me. So artistically it also suits me, which is why I'm going more into acting at the moment, and this is truly what makes me blissful. I like to have a balance between academic and artistic, but my true passion has always been acting since I was 6. So it is really about balance. So another thing, it is about a balance. You have to balance your life, because if you don't balance your life, you're going to lose yourself, and you don't want to overdo something, and you don't want to do too less of one thing. Another thing that I find, if you want to make most of your lifetime, I think love is really important. A life without love is not worth having otherwise. I don't necessarily mean love within a relationship. I think that love with your family especially is really beautiful, and that's when you feel a lot of positive energy. And I really love my family, because I've heard of the quote, blood is thicker than water, from my A levels, and blood is truly thicker than water. They've known you your entire life, and they're the ones that are going to help you and be there for you. So my family is still there for me, and they will always be the ones who are always there for me. Your friends are there for you, but blood will always be thicker than water, because my father, my mother, and my sisters, they've known me my entire life, so I know I can count on them, and they know what I've been through, and they can always support me. So there you go. So there you are. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it really helped you, and I hope that you've learned a lot from it, and really we're all in this together, and definitely making this video is really making me happy to transmit this message to you guys, so it can make your life more healthy